ไปแล้วgo now
ไปไหน
ไป Mallika
มาริกา
Mallika City so we're off to Kanchanaburi to it's a touristy thing. It's a small city sort of model type thing set in the 1900s, and one of the unique things about this is you get to where's she going to now? The star of the program. She's always disappeared. So you get to dress up in 19th century costumes and tour around this little I guess resort and experience life from 100 years ago. Hope you guys will enjoy it. There'll be a few previews and clips there, just the beginning. Don't forget there's a subscribe button down here, and then we'll cue the intro and we'll catch you there. Bye. And here we are. Everything is all painted white.
ที่จอดรถผมออกไป
And the little rickshaws.
นี่เมืองมาริกา
นั่นจำแมปเลย
Just need to find somewhere to park. I think parking over here. So here we are. Right, part of the whole thing with the cultural thing is you actually get to dress in Thai clothes or in traditional Thai. So here's my girl. Yes, do spin. Okay. Now you can hold this one.
What this one
Right.
new style right everything new style you like a name ขุนช้าง
So there we are. So we're all dressed up, ready to go. Now we're going to actually, part of it also is we're going to, they don't take real money inside. They take satang, which is the old currency for Thailand, and you've got to do a conversion inside. There are coins that have got holes in the middle of them. So, you're spending money, you've got to change that and you'll change it back, and that's a bit of an exchange rate. Anyway, so just a quick update on the costs for the plaque. It's $200, 200 baht per person for entry to the park, and if you want to do the dress up thing, it's extra 150 baht to dress in the traditional Thai clothing. So yes, as I said, you change a real Thai baht for these weird looking coins on a string. I'm going to have trouble knowing what denominations are what, but there's 50 baht, there's 20 baht, 10 baht, 5 baht, and 1 baht or whatever. But yes, this is the money that you spend inside. They'll charge you back when you finish. So from my understanding, another 50 baht, you can hire a rickshaw and a puller, a driver, to take you around the park as well. And I think it's there's single person seats, there's no doubles. I think we'll walk. You just get to see just as much when walking. But it's an interesting mode of transport, that's for certain. She's not like to get suntan. Yeah, so here we are. We're just waiting to find our tickets so we can go in. Everybody gets into the whole dressing up thing. So if you come out here, don't be a stickler for being a prude or anything else like that. Get yourself the extra gear and put it on. It's all part of the fun. So here we are inside the park. Now, each one of these buildings has a particular reference in their culture. Like this bridge here, I was reading on their website, was the original. Well, the whole area is like a colony somewhere in the distant past. They were a sort of like a farming town which had a big headman and everything else, but or even sort of it was more of a colony or a prison colony or something like that. And so they had this bridge that spanned the river to get into the community. Originally it was just planks of wood across the river, which they would draw back when you crossed the road, when the boats would come past. And then it was changed to this Venetian style longhouse, so the boats could pass underneath. I also remember reading in the comments on the website something about slavery was part of the tradition back then. And I think it was the reign of King Rama IV who abolished slavery in the country. And when that abolishment was done, then of course places like this were given back to the people because the headmen could no longer keep the slaves. And so the whole thing fell apart. Look, I'll leave a link in the website, a link to the website down below, as well as a location pin for you guys. I'm not, as I say in other videos I've said this, I'm not a travel guide. I'm just an Aussie experiencing Thailand as, you know, you've never been here before either. You've not been here, this first time here?
First time.
Yeah. So we come to these places and generally sort of 9 times out of 10 these are places that even Chanya hasn't been to. So you know, we are experiencing these things together. Now I obviously, as I said, you know, like today I was given a bit of a heads up the fact that where we were going, so I was able to spend 15 minutes on the website this morning having a bit of a read. Traditional style cooking. Like in Australia we had a place just north of us called Old Sydney Town. Again, it was, you know, like it was modelled for Sydney like 100 years ago, and they actually had actors in Old Sydney Town that would participate in the whole pantomime of what Sydney was like, you know, 150 years ago. I'm sure this is sort of like what happens here as well. This is a bit of a cultural, you know, throwback to say this is what life was like in their olden days. Of course, I do question the colours and you know, the style of the buildings. I think looks traditional, but colours are a little bit too vibrant for what I would consider to be what do you call it, traditional. But hey, it's all part of the fun, I think. What's she make here, darling? What this one?
ขนมอะไรคะข้าวเกรียบปากหม้อ
What?
เศษข้าวเกรียบปากหม้อ
Khao Kri?
ข้าวเกรียบปากหม้อ
Khao Kriap Pak Mo. Thai food, right? Thai Kanom.
ไทยขนม
Thai Kanom, yes. And Thai junk food.
You want to try?
No, not now, later.
You cannot try.
But this one here, fish, chicken, no, banana. Banana. Fried banana. This is a traditional dried, sun-dried Thai squid, is it? You want some? You want to eat? No.
I like eat but not now.
You like to eat, but not now.
Not now, not now.
And what are these things here? Like, I guess this is grinding rice for making a rice flour. I would suspect. I don't know. Now, darling, you're making coconut ice.
Coconut.
Coconut,
Just
yeah.
for me.
Yeah, you show me.
For for junk food.
For junk food, mate, yeah. Good, yeah. Harder, more. Good. Like to see you working hard. Good. Good. What we have here is the city tower. I did read about this. This is like the boss man's lookout tower, because as I said, they were slaves before they were freed, and so this was the tower that was like the guard tower to keep them all in check. Now you can just go to the top and have a look around. Just looking at this thing here, it's a long way up. Oh my God. Anyway, we go up, have a look. And it's a bit of a long way down too. Yes, darling. She's not want to come up. I think she's afraid of heights. Okay, so here we are. So we came in. Okay. Front gate over here. So we came in across the bridge, through the marketplace. Now we're up in the guard tower. Sorry, you'll get a bit of wind noise here because it's a bit blowy. It's a great place to get a bit of a view. And Thailand's not completely flat. When you get out of the basic delta plain, which is Kanchanaburi and further east, we've actually got mountains. And here we have some of the more traditional style buildings. This is like the traditional water markets, because most of the trade in Thailand 100 years ago was actually done via water channels, because there's so much water in an alluvial plain that it was the best form of transport. Don't forget, like 100 years ago there were pretty much no cars. It was pretty much oxen travel, rickshaws and boats. So most of your market took place on the water, which is why again Thailand has so many water markets. And again over here we've got some traditional style housing. What they were saying on the website is you've got the ones over here, which we'll look at closer when we get up there. This was like the commoner's house, where you'd have multiple families living under one roof. And then of course over here, this is more the Haiso house for the village elders and the village headmen, or headmen and headwomen, head families. And again more markets. I'm pretty sure that building has nothing to do with the heritage of 100 years ago, but maybe they should put a screen across that. But yeah, again, so you can see more of the sort of housing style from this sort of particular era. When you look around Thailand and you do a bit of driving around, you'll still see a lot of this style of housing. It's quite common because of the perpetual flooding we get during the rainy season across most of Thailand. Back to ground level, and as I said, this is a bit of a close-up of the water style floating market. Very picturesque area. Yes, the traditional name is Ruan Pay. Floating house is generally a house located on the river or a big canal. No, they not have this 100 years ago. Not have 100 years ago.
Three.
A little bit of a smorgasbord.
Pork sweet pork.
Pork sweet, little bit. Just a little bit, darling.
You want to eat?
Might you, but try a little bit, man. Pet Ma. What you call this one? What name? Panang Mu.
Panang Mu with omelette.
Panang Mu with omelette. Okay. We're just sitting here for lunch under the big floating restaurant style housing. You do get a bit of a feel for the whole communal living in ancient Thailand. if you let your mind wander a bit. So Tirak, you low soul, you have brown skin. I high soul, I have white skin. Yep.
No.
Yeah, I high soul, you low soul. Okay, darling, I think we move along to the next station. Satani Trong Bai. Can go this way? Okay. Yep. You can take the modern concrete path, or you can take the old wooden path along the Klong. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Have-
white buffalo.
White buffalo, and we have storm coming later. Oh my God, look at that. I can't tell which way the clouds are coming. Could be in for a bit of a rainstorm. Well, it is monsoon season, I think. You know, have a traditional day out in Kanchanaburi would be just perfectly set off with a rainstorm in about an hour's time.
อ้วนตุ๊บเลยอ่ะ
And as you know, like under the Buddha tradition, the cow, or in this case the buffalo, is a sacred animal. They pretty much did all the work. So you know, they were prized in Thailand as if you didn't have a buffalo to help you plough the fields, that's it. You didn't eat. Which is pretty much where the tradition of the sacred cow comes into the whole thing. Yeah. You lost so commoner.
Yes, my house.
This your house, where you sleep.
I have buffalo one.
Oh, you have one buffalo. I think you so. You have one buffalo.
You want to eat?
No. My you.
You can make myself good?
Yes. You have boyfriend?
No way.
You want boyfriend, Frank?
Can you be with me?
Yes. Come now. I take you away. Where your father? Where your father? I tell him I take you Guntet.
No have.
You not have father? Oh my God. So this one here is the commoner's house, the Ruin Dia. We'll just take a quick look around inside. This is very similar to the style of building that we saw down a few years ago at a place called Ancient Siam, which is southwest of Bangkok. It's another sort of traditional Thai style building. I guess this is what they would call the kitchen.
Yes, right. Kitchen from.
Yep. So you'd have your rocks and your pots, cooking on coals. And you'll see this type of cupboards and pantry quite common throughout Thailand at the moment. I think the long house, this is where they would sleep now, yes?
No. Yeah.
And generally sort of the commoners would be sleeping on something not even as comfortable as that. Not they just tended to sleep on hessian mats or reed mats. Having something like a cushion like that would be considered high soul. Now we move along to the high soul house. This is where the village elders or the headman or I'm not quite sure what they'd call it, the Yai something is the name for the headman in the village. Everything good so far, darling? I rescue you from house in
Yes,
All
everything
Now you can come live with me in Heisel.
Where?
This house, my house. You want to come? Good. How much part of want for some sinsod?
1 million
1 million. Oh my God. Why so much?
10 หมื่น
10 million. 10 million. Oh my God.
10 หมื่นเรือนขหบดี
เรือน
เรือนขหบดี
Kahabodi. So this is the elder's house, or the people who are rich. They're rich and belong to the hierarchical class in the Siamese society. Yes, the headmen. Notice underneath the house here, it's all paved, whereas the commoner's house isn't, which I would think is typical. Yes, darling. You want to go up? So whereas the commoners would probably eat from the floor, in the high class you would have nice silverware, table and chairs to sit at, and things on display to show your wealth, and a pretty wife. Of course you'd have all the luxuries of a mosquito-proof bed, considering the fact that you'd be living pretty close to the water. I guess you'd also have a sitting room with rather salubrious furniture. I don't know. So I don't know if the radio was actually around 100 years ago. Maybe just. That's right. No, was it 1907 to 2017? 1970. Yeah, maybe. I don't think it was looking anything like that. Phonograph, maybe. And you might also notice that there's no kitchen facilities upstairs, because they wouldn't cook for themselves, would they? They would have the commoners cooking for them. And the rain is just starting. In a bit of a rush now to get across to the next building without getting too wet. This house is the house for the Ruan Mu, right? Or the Ruan Mu, for the rich people or the nobles. But like all people, it rains on everybody. Yeah, so I'd expect they'd have a water feature, you know, and fish. You go up in a minute, yeah. And a place to entertain people and guests. A nice water feature in the centre. I guess this would be the temple area in the noble's house. Another area I would guess here, this is for preparation of food, or not some preparation, serving of food. Place for the band. That looks like the kitchen over there, or the kitchenette. Just getting a look at some of the traditional style instruments you see. Drums and xylophones. Obviously produce that uniquely Thai sound that you're hearing in the background. Or why the doors are closed there, but these are obviously the quarters for the nobles to sleep in. And that looks like about it, darling. So as I said, I'm pretty sure that it didn't look quite this beautiful 100 years ago, but it's a really nice place to come and spend the afternoon. If you come here for dinner, there's actually a dinner and a show. I think dinner starts around 6 p.m, the show starts around 7 p.m, and I think the place closes 9 or 10, I'm not quite sure. You'll find the information on the website. We're not going to hang around for dinner. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon now, so we've been here a couple of hours already. Since we're in Kanchanaburi, I'm planning on sort of popping in to see another fellow Thai vlogger, Colin from Thailand, so we'll probably cut that to the next video. Okay, so just on our way out now. Not much else to see here, but I hope you enjoyed that. So definitely, if you're out west of Bangkok, you know, in Kanchanaburi area, this is definitely a place to drop in. It's not expensive. There's no two-tier pricing, which is good. There's a little bit of fun for the afternoon, and as I said, if you come at night, there is a buffet-style dinner, and a show. Don't forget map references down below. Website for the location down below. Anyway, so we're going to wrap this up here, and depending on how things pan out for the next hour, we'll probably pick up the next video out at Colin's place. He lives in a temple, or he lives on temple land. I'll make sure that you guys are familiar and have all the links in the next video. Anyway, guys, bye for now. Oi boy. You think she looked pretty? Yep. Smile, smile.